2nd December 2013, Iceland police shot a man dead for the first time in 200 years. In Kenya, about 200 people die from stray bullets discharged by the police every year. Iceland's serene history was marred when the man reported to be firing at cars from his apartment window died after engaging police in a shootout. In Kenya, police have long been accused of being trigger-happy and prone to brutality. The Independent Medical Legal Unit's report, Guns, Our Security, Our Dilemma, published in 2014, indicates that out of the 1,854 gun deaths recorded in 5 years, 1,254 were perpetrated by the police. Postmortems on most of the victims show that they were shot on the back, an indication that they were fleeing from the police.
Last year, we did an analysis of deaths occasioned by firearms in the last 5 years in the mortuaries. What we were doing is looking at the bodies that are taken to the various mortuaries. We looked at 5 stations in Kenya. What we found out is that documentation of suspicious deaths is very wanting.
8-year-old Cynthia Waithera and 22-year-old Paris Waithera, killed in separate shooting incidents, are part of those statistics. In a bid to cover up the circumstances around the death of the Standard 2 pupil, Cynthia Waithera's body was labelled unknown at Nairobi City Mortuary.
Kauliza juu mtoto amepata wenyewe, kwa nini ameandikwa unknown? Tuliambiwa hii mwili yenu ilikuwa inatakikana ifanywe postmortem kute kama amefanyi. Sisi tu kufanyiwa na huyo wa mortuary, tulifanyiwa na watu wa Imiro.
Nixon Odanga was fortunate to survive when he was shot on the head at Narok while traveling in a bus. But like Cynthia Waithera's family, reporting the incident was an uphill task.
Barua ya daktari nafikiri ndio ilifanya juu walikuwa wamekataa hata kuniandikia. Yeah. Walikuwa wamekataa, wananituma kwa traffic, ni kesi ya traffic, kwenda kwa traffic wanakataa. Nikazungushwa hapo. Sasa wakati nilitoa barua ya daktari ndio kanituma kwa opini.
Siasa katuambia hata mkiandamana mimi ni askari na hakuna mahali ndapelekwa. Ndapigwa tu transfer. Na nyinyi tu ndio mtabaki na uchungu, na mwenye tajaribu kuja kuandikisha statement andikishe akijua vile anafanya. Sasa hata sijaandikisha statement.
Those gaps in terms of documentation and evidence, they are the one that will hinder victims from assessing justice or going to courts and saying that this and this happened, because they cannot actually be able to support the allegation by way of evidence.
The case of Paris Waithera, the mother who was killed while breastfeeding her baby almost 2 years ago, is still pending in court. The police are yet to produce the firearm inventory that would help to single out the policeman who discharged the bullet.
Walipeleka hizo mabuduki zao kwa laboratory na ikasemekana hakuna risasi hata moja ilitumika na askari.
If you are alleging a particular fact, I was shot by police X, but you cannot be able to link that particular bullet to that particular police X, then what does that mean? The argument that you are trying to front before the court of law is actually in vain.
For many victims, prosecuting the police is an exercise in futility.
When you speak to them, victims of police abuses think they are coming up against the entire system. They think prosecuting a police officer is next to impossible.
There is no officer who goes scot-free after committing an offense. The public must clearly understand that. Because we take no pride in having people within us who go about killing people, maiming others, tarnishing the image of the police, tarnishing the image of the government. We take no pride in that. And that is why every wrong is investigated and ultimately action taken.
Even when you go and report to the police that's a case of stray bullet, they'll attempt at all costs to prefer charges which are an existence against you. If you come from Central Kenya and you happen to be a victim of a bullet or a stray bullet, in an attempt to frustrate your efforts to seek justice, then they will say that probably belong to the Mungiki.
The law is supreme. We are also not immune to the same law we are supposed to defend and uphold.
To end the impunity, the brutality, the use of excessive force, the disregard for human rights and corruption by the police, the Justice Philip Ransley-led task force proposed some 200 ways to ensure comprehensive police reforms.
I have no doubt in my mind, and this I can say without any fear of contradiction, that the reforms in the National Police Service have stalled.
Professionalizing the police service is paramount according to the Independent Police Oversight Authority.
If you look at the training, there are a lot of police officers. The last time they ever see training is when they leave Kiganjo, the police college. You'll find a police officer has gone for 10, 15, 20, even 30 years. They've never seen training again. So training, regular training is not happening. That I can tell you for a fact.
The police officers undergo sufficient training to enable them to discharge their work. At the time, we actually tell our commander-in-chief that this batch or cohort of trainees is ready for graduation. We as the police management will have satisfied ourselves that these people are ready and fit to serve. Anybody who leaves the college and go and commit offenses, then that is a case of personality disorder.
There will always be those people who benefit from the disorganization within the National Police Service. Because if you are to have such a National Police Service, then it means that it will be able to rein in on impunity. But those masters of impunity, the ones who want the impunity, will never want that.
We got policeman brutality, we got
Sylvia Chebet for the big question.
Kila wakati vita barabarani vibandani, we got no peace.